Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 5 of Installation Route, where I have a plan. See in my hand here, I have a boat. Most of the things that are used to get out of, like to phase through blocks have been disabled. For example, minecarts have been disabled because they'll let you clip through things. And like the ender pearls cannot be thrown. And most boats have been disabled, except the spruce one. I don't know why. Might be just a JEI thing that it only shows spruce boat. I actually haven't tried making a regular oak boat. Let's try that real quick. It's out of curiosity. Does it work? Nope, oak boat is disabled. So, I suspect it's an oversight. The spruce boat is disabled. But I suspect we can use this to get out of the world. So, if we do this, I suspect clicking on that boat will allow me to phase through the world. And I'm confident enough that it's going to work. I'm going to take all my gear off, because if I get outside, I don't think there's any way to get back inside without jumping off the edge. So, I'm going to avoid 11 levels. Oh well. Alright, well, here we go. I am now stuck. Excellent. No, this is exactly what I wanted. So if I could get just a little bit more jump distance, I assume I can't get back in my boat somehow, or to my items. Well, this is unfortunate. I think I'm gonna have to use commands to kill myself here. If I didn't have commands, this seems like as close to a soft lock as you can get. I'm not convinced it's possible to jump out of here. Even sprint jumping, I don't think I make it. Okay. Bye-bye, me. Oh, we keep our EXP. Makes me wonder. Do we keep our items too? Okay, so I guess the default behavior is keep inventory. Well then, that gives me an idea. One of the sashes from, one of these things. Which was the easiest one to make? This one, I guess? If we make one of these sashes, I think we should be able to jump that extra half block and get out. Just a quick check. With the sash on, I can now jump up 2 full blocks, which should mean that if we get back up to our boat, we can... Haha! We've escaped the box. The box can contain me no more. I'm not actually going to do anything outside of the box. This is just more for my curiosity. And now I'm stuck outside of the box, so hopefully there's no Forgiving Void mod that makes me stay outside of the box now. Bye-bye, box. Alright, but we keep our inventory, so we're back in the box. Cool. Well, that was our experimentation for today. Let's try to be a bit more useful and productive now. To start us off today, it's been brought to my attention that items such as the inventory sensor and the bulk stack mover exist. So I've never used this Factorytech mod, and I didn't know what nice utility items came with it. Turns out the inventory sensor and bulk stack mover basically do what this entire construct does, except like it uses 2 block spaces instead of 30. So I think it's time we tear down our whatever this is called, Terraced Steel factory, and make perhaps a slightly more compact one. This only uses invarsol, sand, lapis, easy stuff to make. We'll have all of our input items set in one chest. This is perhaps even easier to automate as well. We can later put a one of these logistics things, requester, on this chest and have it request a stack of each of these things, and it'll either pull from storage or pull from crafting if our logistics network knows how to craft it. So anyways, this is our input chest. Then this inventory sensor has a criteria built into it. So these are all the the 8 items. You can have, these aren't ghost items, these are real items, which is it works, whatever. You can say, one of an item, more than one of an item, match any, match all, at least, or exact mode, whether or not you check the damage values. But I have it on match all, at least, and this one's irrelevant because none of these items have damage values. So anyways, this is the thing that checks whether or not there are items, you know, all 8 of our items are in the chest. Then there's a timer here that's just set to 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds it emits a tick. And there's a lever here. This is our on-off switch. So if all 3 of these are on, this is a 3-way AND gate. That sends a redstone signal to the bulk stack mover, which likewise has a filter here. And likewise, they're not ghost items, but I can live with that. But what it does is when it receives a redstone pulse, it tries to move one of all of these items, and I'm just moving them into an item allocator, or just sending them into the open crate. Tons of ways you can drop items, but this is just what I'm choosing to do. So either I can flip this lever and then every 10 seconds it'll craft one piece, or for testing purposes I put a button here that if I press a button it drops one of everything, and then the mana does the thing, and then the thing picks it up. Voila. So this is our new and improved and significantly shrunk Terraced Steel producer. So now if I just flip this switch, it'll do it every 10 seconds. It'll only make a couple more pieces before we start running out of some ingredients though. But these I'll just, you know, I can restock slime balls and emeralds easily enough as needed. Cool. So moving on. Keep picking up cactus. Moving on, let's go and try to make, well, here, can we make these first? No, right? Because these require... Okay, how about I'll go fill in a whole bunch of like those materials so we can make these 4 blocks of Terraced Steel. Once we start making mana infused ingots, we can make our Terraced Steel more efficiently. I think let's see, yeah, if we use mana infused ingot instead of mana steel ingot, we get 3 output ingots per craft as opposed to 1. So for this, everything else stays the same, but we get 3 outputs. So yeah, let's make the 4 stacks of Terraced Steel we need for that. Thankfully, the reduced mana cost of Terraced Steel in this pack means that 36 pieces of Terraced Steel doesn't cost 18 mana pools. 18 mana pools is a bit more than I can pull off right now, but there we go. That gives us that, and then this should be the rest of the plate setup. So it requires a different plate. Actually, let's put it here. So it can't, like, we can't share the same agglomeration plate because it needs a different backing. So we'll just build another one. This one is made with silver blocks and Terraced Steel, so noticeably more expensive than lapis blocks and living rock. And then it should just be that, and if I get a spark and put the spark on here, then it should just be throw mana steel on. And yeah, I figured this craft would be fast enough that... Can I do a whole stack? No, it has to be a single piece at a time. But this craft is fast enough that you can probably just like directly hopper into a open crate. And because of how many mana pools feed the craft, we won't have to deal with the items getting stuck. And then this one hopper hock here can pull double duty. If I sneak into here, set up another cache, and lock it to this. I'll put an item frame on it. May as well. I don't know. It might improve performance. It appears I'm wrong. The hopper does drop items a little bit too fast for this. I'll slow things down then by using a regular servo. So this can only withdraw 1 item every 3 seconds. And, oh, the problem is it's taking too long to pick up the completed item. Ah, interesting. Is this might still be dropping too fast then. At 1 item per 3 seconds? I guess we need a slightly more aggressive item pick-upper than the hopper hock. The hopper hock seems to like, yeah, there we go, and now we're stuck. Okay, easy enough to solve. Maybe it's a bit more difficult than that. I couldn't find anything in this pack that serves as a filtered vacuum system. So like there's this vacuum later, right, that can suck items in. However, it can't be filtered. We can filter what it's actually able to pick up by taking up all the slots, I guess. Oh, maybe that'll work. If we put this here, filter your slots by putting one of everything in it, and then start throwing items in here, and turn you on, it should leave... It'll leave any mana steel sitting on the thing, but it'll suck in mana infused ingots It's just that this can only hold 9 stacks. But 9 stacks of mana-infused ingots is probably effectively infinite. So this will be our system for now. This we have to come in, empty this out from time to time. Alright, acceptable. So this now makes our mana-infused ingot. Then we can change this over from mana steel in each of these filters over to mana-infused ingot there, and infused ingot there. And when we turn this back on, we'll be crafting 3 pieces of Terraced Steel at a time. I'm just gonna double check. I want to make sure this thing is out of range of that, so I'm not stealing items from our Terraced Steel crafter. You are on, right? No, you are not. We're out of something. What are we out of? One of these. Pulp biomass? No. Cellular blocks. So, it's getting a little bit loud here. This crafting sound is actually quite loud, but looks like the items are not being stolen. So, okay, this works. Wait, but now that's not crafting. What'd I break? Later here was stealing the ingot from there. So if you shift right click it with a multimeter, you actually get this UI, which allows you to blacklist. So we are going to, or whitelist. We're going to whitelist you for mana infused ingots only, as well as point you away from this. So now I think that should... Are you still taking that ingot? Why are you doing this to me, Vacuumulator? Don't do this to me. Alright, all fixed. I just moved this thing such that it's further away. It has a 11 by 11 area, so by moving it 6 blocks away, it's out of the area. And thus, it's out of the radius, whatever. And thus, the items that get dropped here no longer get molested. And we make 3 Terraced Steel at a time. Cool. So, run until you are out of materials. I am content. With those improvements out of the way, let's see about trying to complete the part 1 of this pack, achieve evidence of inspiration. So we have to make these 5 tools. All of them are made on the ultimate crafting table, and they're all made with like, these are like kind of iron blocks, but not really. They take just about a block of material. And these handles are dreamwood infused with creosote oil. So let's start with the... How difficult is the crafting table? Crafting table looks easy. Let's start with the creosote, because that takes the longest time. So that is made in the redstone furnace with the pyrolytic conversion upgrade, which makes it extremely slow, but it also turns, you know, coal into coal coke and outputs creosote, or wood into charcoal or something. We'll probably do the blocks. No, we don't have that much coal, we don't have coal. We'll do the wood recipe, I guess. It's probably the same in terms of RF per creosote. Turns out this augment doesn't reduce processing speed at all. Exact same speed with and without, at least for wood. So that actually produces creosote oil quite quickly. Anyways, that'll make creosote. We can infuse some dreamwood with that later. I might have to... No, I have plenty of living wood. Let's trade a bunch of this to the elves to get dreamwood. But that's that bit taken care of. So, of these 5 different tools, I think there's one for each material. Yeah, let's start with iron. So, 2 handles and a bunch of blocks. This is really just some bricks and a bunch of plates. Okay. Our redstone furnace has made a bunch of creosote. Turns out if the output buffer is full, the fluid output buffer is full, it just voids the fluid. So I'm just gonna start the process of making these handles, and let's maybe upgrade that machine 1 tier to make it a little bit faster. The first item, the iron sword. It's just plain old Minecraft iron sword. Needs 12 of these iron blocks and 2 of these handles and the tier 4 crafting table. So let's just get a block of Terraced Steel. Nope. Can we... 37 pieces in there. There we go. Block of Terraced Steel, and everything else in here I think is just... The way this thing scrolls, it tries to fetch whatever exact item shows at that moment, which makes it a little bit annoying for requesting items. Like, it'll, for one moment, it'll be like, oh yeah, I have the chests. And then the next moment, it's like, I don't know what chest you're talking about. I'm looking at a different chest. Anyways, block of smoky quartz. We have regular smoky quartz. Can we duplicate this conjuration catalyst? No, we cannot. It's okay. We can conjuration catalyst quartz, so if I just take a stack of this, I mean, we already have a lot. Now we can make 2 stacks of it, and 3 stacks of it, and 4 stacks of it. Wow, magic. For a low price of mana, of which we have, most of these pools are at least somewhat full of mana. So, 1 ultimate crafting table. It's not really used for very ultimate-y stuff. It's just, that's the table we do our crafting on. Oh, apparently 1 of these blocks short. That's alright. Shouldn't be too hard to make. Some gears, and 1 more of these. Alright, so apparently it takes 13 to make the iron sword. Counting is hard. Anyways, voila. Now, as is, it's not very useful. We can get 1 ingot out of it. We can get a nugget out of it. But if we get an ingot of chrome, which I think will come early next age or whatever, it can be turned into this thing. And this is a key part of a mob farming setup where we can kill mobs that are trapped in morbs to get their drops and experience. Likewise, the next item we'll be making, the hoe, won't be useful yet, but it'll be useful down the line. It's a fancy looking recipe. Doesn't quite look like that one, but yeah, anyways, as is, all we can do is combine it with beryllium. Let's set it aside for now. Anyways, I'm gonna do the other 3, just like there's really nothing to see here. We have to process a little bit of copper, lead, and nickel, but all of these are resources we have in spades. In fact, just, 700 ingots, 2,000 lead ingots apparently. I've been every now and then just taking some of our resources and pulverizing them, or sometimes just smelting the ore directly. There should be the last of the tools. So nickel makes us a pickaxe. Shiny pickaxe. Unfortunately, I don't think this one can get us out of the wall. And I don't even know if it can break this. It cannot. Alright, so we're still stuck in the box. That's alright. I wasn't expecting to get out so easily. Set these aside for later. And see what this quest unlocks. So this gives us the crafting core. Can we craft these? Looks like we can, maybe not quite yet. Or at least, yeah, we can't quite craft these yet. So it looks like these 2 that we get are all, oh, maybe this is, oh no, okay. We can make black iron eventually. But for now, these 2 crafting cores are all we get. And let's just move on to part 2 here. The first thing we need to do in part 2 is make energy cell frames. So these are like the next tier machine frame. Most of our stuff so far has been based on the thermal expansion machine frame, but the energy cell frame, it's not actually used to make energy cells, but it can be used to make, oh, okay, I guess it can be used to make energy cells. I think you can get a one-off, you can get 1 of these because there's a quest reward that gives you the energy star. But with the exception of that, it's mostly used in these combination crafting recipes to make various of these things. Mostly, at least for now, mostly this Factorytech stuff. I think Factorytech is the key mod of part 2. So the frame is steel, lapis, Terraced Steel, and machine frames. That doesn't look too bad. This looks like an easier recipe that we unlock eventually, but for now we have to do it the standard way. Alright, this seems like a good chance to set up auto crafting. First things first, we need to craft pedestals. These are what actually hold the items for the crafting recipes. Looking at the crafting core here, most of the ones we'll be doing now I think have at most 6 items. I think there's like a couple that have a lot more than 6 items, but those look like relatively late game recipes. So I think we're going to make our crafting core have 6 slots. It looks like 6 is as high as it gets ever. Okay, so yeah, we'll make our crafting core. The center item goes on the core itself. So for a 6 pedestal recipe, we need, well, 6 pedestals. Who'd have thought? For that, we need coal coke, and I discovered that coal can actually be duplicated in a mana pool. One of those things I don't think I've ever done before, because in like every other world, coal is super easy to get, so I've never had to duplicate it. But then we can duplicate it and then turn it into coal coke in this basically coke oven, and that gets us. So I need 54 pieces for 6 blocks. Let's start by talking about how the auto crafting system with thermal logistics works, and then we'll go on to how to cursor issues, how to hook up all the item pipes and stuff. So anyways, thermal logistics is based on crafters here. So right now Signalum tier is the highest we can go, and I'll use Signalum tier for this. Each crafter can hold either at least one recipe, and depending on the tier, up to this one is up to 4. But as you go to more recipes, you get less input slots per recipe. So in this case, our energy cell frame has 4 unique inputs, which means we can technically do it in using only half the crafter, and it leaves the other half of the crafter available to craft something else if needed. All right, so anyways, it is 4 unique inputs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. We want to wait. Is it checkbox to enable? I'm gonna assume that's what that means. Here, there's this is effectively blocking mode. What it means is that if it's crafting one of these items already, it's not quite blocking mode because it doesn't actually check the state of the inventory. But it says if there is one crafting task ongoing, don't send a second one. For this, it doesn't matter. We can handle parallel crafting. And let's see. This is just how sensitive it should be to metadata and MBT data on these items. I want it exactly sensitive, and I'm not exactly sure what this specifically does. I think you can feed from this into another pipe, into more pipes, as opposed to directly into an inventory. And when that's the case, I think that's what this button does. You can determine whether you want it to go to like the pipe behavior, nearest first, round robin, etc., etc. But for now, I'm going to buffer it into this inventory just so that we can see what it's doing, make sure it's right. So make some gears, and what we should see is that now this energy cell frames here and shows as craftable. When I request one of them, we should see the materials flow over to here. It'll take it a little bit because it has to go all the way around, but they should start coming out here. Nice. Now from here, we have to get these materials onto either the crafting core or the pedestals. So we're going to take the center item and whitelist it here. We might need a higher tier filter. In fact, let's just get well, how many different center items are there? It's probably more than 3, right? Almost always the frame. And no, I guess one. Wait, no, that's because I'm looking at uses of the frame. Hold on. Uses of the core. Here we go. Yeah, okay, there's a couple other items. Let's although like tin plate, energy cell frame, is 3 items enough? Maybe it is. Nope, we have more than 3 items. Okay, let me just go grab some higher tier filters so that they have more slots. It's easy enough to just get 2 Signalum filters instead. So anyways, onto the center here, we whitelist machine frames, and then onto all the pedestals, we blacklist machine frames. So that when I turn this on, the machine frame should go here, the other items should get distributed among these, and then crafting should begin. I did my recipe right. 500 RF a tick for 50,000 RF. Why are we not crafting? So 2 steel gears, 2 Terraced Steel ingots, and lapis. I suspect some of these pedestals are just not in range of the crafting core. Let me look up what the actual range of the crafting core is. Is there an extended crafting book by chance? Of course it uses a black iron ingot. I'm gonna cheat myself the documentation. I think I deserve to be able to see the documentation. Must be on the same Y level. Okay, let's fix that. Easy enough a fix. Just put them onto the same Y level. And there we go. Now we're crafting. So 500 more RF a tick is a significant amount of load, but apparently our network can adjust to handle it. And there we go. We have an energy cell frame. That completes the quest. We did another one here too. All right, so we get a let's start. Does this actually do anything? It's not actually an item. I've been debated. So yeah, we get a rapidity star for walking over 4.13 kilometers. This could be used to make this, but we don't have the other stuff yet. But anyways, I think if we do, these are kind of like, you get to lie. Oh, whoopsies! I didn't mean to actually do that. I'm not going to claim that reward until we actually do the quest. But like, it's honor system here. You can, you can say you did the quest, but you didn't actually do the quest, like this one. So make auto crafting systems, making 25 item types. Well, we have one item type here. Oh, but we still have to mark the craft as completed. By the way, we have to then take the completed item out like that. So now that should get sucked into here. And then for it to get marked as completed, I think we can take a crafting manager. And somehow have to bind the two. One second. Having tinkered with this a bit, I think these pipes are kind of like logistics pipes insofar as it expects the output to go to the same place as the input, and there is no like satellite behavior to change where the inputs go. So in order for the craft to be marked as completed, the item has to go into here, where it'll be extracted by the servo, and then it'll say, hey, we're done. What that means is that then instead of extracting to this chest, we'll have to extract back into here. That should be doable. All we have to then do is make sure that this extraction servo here is blacklisted to the final item, so that we don't end up, any items we craft on here, we don't end up withdrawing from this chest again, because it's a race between this servo and that crafter to see who picks up the item. Let's now test the system out start to end. So if I request 2 frames, you see the request happening here. If we look here, there are inputs on their way to here. So items should get dumped into here shortly. Then they get distributed. Oh, I guess I do need you on series mode. Because if I have it on parallel mode, it can do this. You see the problem here? We've used up all the slots, but we haven't actually accomplished a successful recipe. So let's fix that real quick. In fact, let's just cancel the craft. I think I can do this to cancel the craft. Yeah. Take all the items back and then start over from scratch. We've discovered a bug. By a bug, I mean a bug in my system, not a bug in the mod. So anyways, ask for 3 of these. 1 comes from the inventory, 2 go to craft. Look at this again. The items should get dumped here. Da-da-da. What happened? Why'd you do the same thing again? You are in series mode, but you're not processing in series. Isn't that what series mode means? Okay. If I do this, I think that fixes it then. Let's try one more time. Learning how to use this logistics pipes, but not mod. I think I understand. Series mode says that do not process this recipe while processing this recipe. That's why if you set it to single recipe mode, the button goes away. It no longer makes sense, right? Whatever state you have it on, it just gets locked because there's only one way to process a recipe. So yeah, series mode isn't what I want. I think we can use this button though. I'm not sure if this is max items per stack or max items total. So we're going to do some testing, but we'll set it to that. And then request frames. Energy cell. No, did I leave the recipe disabled? Yes, let's enable the recipe. And then request frames. Give me 2 of those. Give me some experience. And let's see what items show up here. So it's not respecting this number. Why do you do this to me? Why is this item here? That item should not be allowed to go here. This is blacklisted. Blacklisted in the filter! I don't understand. It turns out filters appear like they work when you put them on ducts like this. They don't actually do anything. I don't know why you're allowed to put them here if they don't actually do anything. I've tried both sides, like whether the fat side is the input or the output, like this. It'll let the machine frame through to the pedestal. So we have to rework this slightly. Working with all these thermal ducts really making this Ender IO even more. Just the fact that it does what the things intuitively say it does goes a long way. But anyways, we make do with what we've got. So I moved it such that we're using another side of the chest to extract the side items as opposed to the center item. So this is whitelisted for the center item. This is blacklisted for the center item. Basically same as before, except now they're on different, like entirely different segments instead of just being separated by filters. All right, so 7 times the charm. Give me 2. I want to craft 2 at a time because I want to make sure the system is capable of handling multiple crafts, right? So we have these items on their way, but it's limited to 2 of any given item inside here at a time. So that should prevent the problem where it oversets. Yeah, and now we're crafting. So this piece, I think it's this lapis, is extra, right? One of the lapis will not be consumed when the craft is done. We need to set you to ignore to pick up the final item. That gets sent to here, and since... Oh, we need to actually add that final item to this blacklist as well, right? We don't want to take the center item or the final product out. It seems like this crafter, it might be like the logistics pipe where it's very greedy, like it grabs the item very quickly. Which means that it might always beat this servo even without blacklisting this item in the servo. But who knows? It could be one of those like 999 times out of 1,000 the crafter wins, but 1 time out of 1,000 the servo wins, and then your crafting gets stuck and you have to go debug it. So easy to fix it properly instead of counting on the race to work out in your favor. All right, so with that, we actually have properly automated. What are these frames called? Energy cell frames. These are I took a quick look at the recipes in the crafting core. Honestly, most of these crafting core recipes will probably be like one-time things. They're like, you use them to, you know, make block readers or block placers or machines. And most of these, like, I don't see a need to fully automate the production of machines. That seems a little bit, you know, excessive. So, we'll probably only a handful of these recipes will actually like truly from start to finish automate. The rest will just like request the frame and then put the other stuff on the pedestals by hand. The next quest has us making, well, we have 2 choices, but I'm going to make the drill because I think this unlocks more stuff. It has us using 7 pedestals. So apparently counting to 7 is beyond my capabilities. I suppose that comes as no terribly big surprise, but there we go, 7th pedestal. Now we can, oh, this goes in the center to do the craft. But it's also made in the center. Basically, the way I have it set up, if I put this here, it immediately gets extracted. That seems like a good reason why we were given 2 crafting cores, huh? Well, I'll set up the second core later. For now, we'll just craft this one manually, which means we turn off the servo. Anyways, that's... You go in here, and then the rest of the supplies go in here. That should get distributed between our 7 pedestals. And we're off to the races. How long does this take? Well, looks like it's done already. All right, there's a drill grinder. In addition to the grinder, we need a drill bit and a motor. I also made the Factorytech documentation book to try to understand how this mod works. So the drill grinder is a drill that grinds. Thanks. It can convert yada yada yada, purified yada. Okay, so it says parts needed, a motor and drill, and there's stats here. I have literally no clue what these mean, but apparently they can break. So that's my takeaway. Let's just see. I assume these just get dropped in. Okay, and then if I break this, do I get my drill and motor back? No, I don't. They get voided if I do that. All right. Well, I did get multiple drills per craft. So I assume these are consumables in that case. Let's get another drill and another motor. For now, let's just put this... Where do I have power here? Kinda a little cramped. Alright, let's put this here just for test purposes until we understand how it works. So I assume that green bar is like the hit points bar, how long till it breaks. And what's an ore we should process? Try to get chrome. So this comes from magnetite. Magnetite. Give me a stack of that, please. And if we throw it in here, it does its thing. Nice. So that, yeah, turns it into 3, and it slowly but surely depletes our motor and drill bit. And in fact, it rather quickly depletes our motor and drill bit. What happens when they're... I thought they were already depleted. I'm just gonna let this go until it stops running. Does it stop here? I don't know. We'll see how many operations we get out of one motor and drill bit, I guess. But oh wait, we have a broken motor back. When we turn it, if we make a scrap furnace, we can replace, or we can turn broken parts into a component that is used, I guess. Yeah, this is one of the components that goes into making the motor. I see. For the collection of broken bits, I previously saw that the crate had this tooltip here that picks up broken parts from adjacent machines. I had no clue what it meant at the time, but now I know. So if I get some extra parts, we should be able to... I guess this means that my drill bit still has a little bit left in it. Yeah, but put new motors in, it starts running again, and I have a crate somewhere. Crate? No, I don't have a crate somewhere. Did I use... Oh, I used my crate over here. Give me that back. I mean, this is just a little bit of wood, but we can put this crate here to collect the bits when they break. And in fact, something just broke. Yeah, a drill bit just broke. And this can be recycled as well. There are higher tier drill bits and motors, and I have no clue what they do. Advanced, expensive, and energite. Don't ask me. We're automating the insertion of motor parts and drill bit parts. We can use a monkey wrench, as I'm not quite sure how. Here we go. Shift right click a side to set which side is the part input side. By default, it's a bottom, which is a little bit unwieldy. So like this, we can insert drills automatically, and then we can set something up to insert motors automatically. And this makes us crushed ore. Anyways, this crushed ore, then we run it through the centrifugal, whatever, whatchamacalliter, and oven line. This will get us a little bit of chrome. So this lets us, I assume these are all the byproducts of different things. Yeah, cassiterite or whatever, you know, the 5 different ores we were given. These are the 5 different byproducts. And it's empty parallel universe. Oh, interesting. All right, well, I think we're out of time for today. So we will finish up this quest next time and begin our journey into parallel universes, I guess. Who knows? I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.